Hey guys! So I wanted to make a video about UV lights for a while just because there's no good videos out there. Everybody seems to run their mouth and say that they know what light is best, and a lot of people like to push one or two lights that are very expensive, but I wanted to make a video to kind of compare a lot of those lights because spending the difference between $100 and $30 is a big deal for some people. And you know, the more expensive light here is about 70 bucks, and the cheap light here is about 7. That being said, there's a big difference between these lights, but you don't know where to start if you don't know where to start. So I kind of want to put some video together for you, simply because I was where you're at once. Alright, so first things first. I did not purchase the C8 Convoy, not because I didn't want to do a test with it, but because there weren't any available. There was a 1-month backlog, and they were about 100 bucks. So I decided to put the tests off, mainly because the C8 is most comparative to the UV Beast. So this is the 365 UV Beast. The C8 is very oftentimes compared to this one the most. So I figured, hey, why not try to compare apples to apples by getting the next best thing? So what I liked about the UV Beast was it was big, it was bright, and it came in a nice box. But that's kind of where the positives end. This actually isn't my best pick. So yeah, it was $79, and that's about $85 with tax and everything. But I would highly suggest you don't buy the UV Beast, and I'll show you why in a little bit. I can unbox it if you want to see the unboxing. I mean, that's what you get. It's a pretty well-built flashlight. I mean, it's pretty stout. It comes with an expansion tube. It's big, but it's no better than, well, this one. So in reality, you can spend your $80, but I'd highly suggest you don't. All right. So next up is the Alone Fire. The Alone Fire is about $30 on Amazon, and to be completely honest, this is the winner. It's 30 bucks, it's 365 nanometers, it's got a black light filter, it comes with yellow UV sunglasses, comes with a battery, comes with a charger. It's a little bit smaller than the UV Beast as well as the C8 Convoy, but it's just as bright, and it's less than half the price. So make your own assessment. All right. Now we've got the last of the big three that I'd like to cover. So this is Lumen Shooter. It was $40. And I purchased this because it was kind of a middle ground between some of the lower end lights as well as some of the higher end lights. This one was $40 on Amazon, and when I opened it up, I really wasn't surprised by anything. It's about the same form factor as the Alone Fire. It's got the same black light filter, and to be completely honest, it was about the same. So performance-wise, it was about $10 more, but I didn't notice any value extra. It did come with a battery charger as well, but there was nothing special about this light. All right. So the last one, and this was kind of done as both a joke, but also as a representation of what not to buy. There's a lot of people out there that just, they don't know where to start, so they'll grab the first thing they can find, the cheapest thing they can find. I picked this up at Harbor Freight. I think it was $7. Let's see. Yeah, it turns on right here. It's very purple. You can tell right away this is close to the 400 nanometer spectrum. Don't buy one of these. That being said, I am going to show you why you shouldn't buy it. But it's not a good light, but there's a lot better ways you can spend just a little bit more money, $20 to $30, and get a great light. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you that. And I figured I might as well go ahead and bring in some of these. So you can't really tell right now because I'm not shining anything on them, but these are just about the average size that I'd be finding up in the Lake Superior area. Every now and then you start to get bigger sizes, close to baseball size, tennis ball size, even bigger than that. And then every now and then you start to find some that are start to get hefty. These are definitely not the biggest ones I've ever found, but these are all under 24.99 pounds, so I'm okay with showing you them. You have no clue what they look like, but I'll show you that when we get to the reviewing of the lights. Alright, so first things first, I'll go ahead and I'll lay these flashlights out. We've got all of them to review. We got the UV Beast, the Alone Fire, the Lumen Shooter, and the cheap Harbor Freight one. So I'll go ahead and I'll turn these on just so you can see right away. So this would be under, well, not daylight conditions, but pretty close. So this is the UV Beast. This would be the Alone Fire. This would be the Lumen Shooter. And this would be the Harbor Freight light. Now all of these are shot from about 4 feet away. So the camera is set up to be about 4 feet away, approximately the distance that you would be seeing the rocks when you're actually hunting. 4.5 feet. You can see right away this one's purple and there's really nothing showing up. So Harbor Freight is not doing a good job. But if I look at the other three, it's actually going to be pretty hard to tell the difference among them. So they all actually do a pretty good job. I can't lie. Let's see. I'll hold all three. There's UV Beast. There's Alone Fire. There's Lumen Shooter. Now, if I go ahead and turn the lights off, you'll see a big difference in what can actually display when you're actually walking at night. Alright, so first things first, this is going to be all three of the big ones at once. You can see they light up really well. Let's go ahead and take it down. So let's start with UV Beast. So UV Beast, the most expensive, at $80, does a really good job. It lights things up really well. I'm holding the flashlight just behind the camera, about 5 feet away from the rocks, and they are bright. It's like hot lava. I can even hold it farther back and get to about 10 feet away, and it does a great job too. So if I put that one away and go to the Alone Fire, I'm not gonna lie, it's literally the exact same. The difference is Alone Fire is $30 and UV Beast is $80. So I own two of these, but I own two of these because they work and because they're also less than half the price. I can go to 10 feet away and I can go to 15 feet away and you can still see those things bright. Last is the Lumen Shooter. Lumen Shooter does a good job too, I won't lie, but it's $40. So, I mean, at the end of the day, spend your money how you want, but the output is not greater for Lumen Shooter. So, if I can go back and compare the last two, I'll look at the UV Beast and also Alone Fire. On my left is UV Beast, on my right is Alone Fire. First of all, let's look at the spread. The spread of UV Beast is a lot tighter. There's a lot more throw with this. You can see a little bit more of the edges. Not necessarily a bad thing. As we go across the rocks, you see UV Beast does a really good job of lighting everything up. When we come back with Alone Fire, you see the same. Alone Fire does a great job, and it's a little bit more even of a transition. Holding the two together, side by side, yes, there is a little bit more throw with Alone Fire, but the illumination is the same. They do just as good of a job. Lastly, I did want to show the Harbor Freight light, mainly because it's abysmal. There it is. does not do a good job. With the camera, you can see that they light up, but with the naked eye, it's very hard to discern between the purple of the light and the orange of the rock. So it's purple, but it's really hard to tell what's illuminated on the rock. If we look at the Alone Fire light, night and day difference. That's the difference between 365 nanometer, which is this, and 395 nanometer. Purple versus almost daylight. All right, so at the end of the day, it does matter what light you buy. I've got 4 UV lights here. One of them I would never suggest to anybody. Don't buy something that is cheap and inferior. It's not going to help you find Yooperlights. But on top of that, just having money and spending money isn't necessarily the smartest idea. The UV Beast is big, it comes with 2 batteries, it's bulky, feels good in your hand, it's bright, but it's $80. The C8 Convoy is no better. There's a bunch of people out there that will tell you otherwise. But I literally just did a review comparison in front of your eyes. The UV Beast is great, and so is the C8 Convoy, but I wouldn't spend the money on them. At the end of the day, the output is no better than my personal favorite, the Alone Fire. This is the 12-watt series. One other thing I did not mention about this light, which is actually pretty cool, is in order to charge this light, you never have to take the battery out of the actual light. It comes with a weather-sealed little rubber gasket. It takes a USB Type-C plug adapter, plug it into your car charger, plug it into your wall charger for your Samsung phone or your Android phone, and it'll charge right up. Super cheap, super easy, very fast. That alone kind of is a selling point for me. I don't want to fumble with the dirt and the sand and wet and get the lights dirty. Last thing is, this lumen shooter, fine light, but it's $10 more than the Alone Fire, and the output is negligible, if not even better. It's, in my opinion, not. One thing that does remain the same is all of the really good UV lights are both 365 nanometer spectrum, and they include the black light filter on the front of each one of the faces of the light. The cheap Harbor Freight UV light is probably about 400 nanometers, 395, somewhere in that range. There's no black light filter at all. It's clear. All of these have the special black light filter. So you can buy whatever you want, but for your money, I'm not sponsored by them, but I did spend my money on them. I own 2 of these things, and I've recommended them to purchase for a bunch of other people as well. They're $30. Amazon sometimes has 10% back, so you can get it for actually under $30. It's a great deal. Comes with a battery, comes with your UV yellow shaded sunglasses, and it comes with a charger. That being said, it's a great buy. I won't say anything bad about this light whatsoever for $30. You're gonna find your $30 rock. If you're like me, you'll find it. I actually found this rock with this light. I wish I was sponsored by the company because I can't speak highly enough of them. If anything, I should be sponsored by like a beer company because I really enjoy beer. That being said, I always enjoy all of my nice rock collecting excursions with a delicious natty light natter days. This one's a pineapple, okay, shut up. Listen guys, enjoy your rock collecting, and if you were to make a purchase on a UV light, I didn't have a video like this. I just kind of bought and chose with my wallet. That being said, I would not suggest about the other ones. I would highly suggest buying the Alone Fire. This is the 12 watt. They have a 15 watt, they have a 10 watt, they have a bunch of other versions. I've tried a few of their other models out. I think the 12 watt's the best buy simply because it has the charger port built into it. That being said, good luck finding stuff, guys. The North Shore Lake Superior is great, and if you want some tips, Grand Marais, that's my pick.